Once upon a time, in a small village at the edge of a vast, dark forest, lived a poor girl named Thmpelana. She was kind-hearted and beautiful, with eyes that sparkled like the stars. Thmpelana lived with her father, who was a humble woodcutter. One day, her father remarried a woman named Morgana, who brought her 2 daughters to live with them. Morgana was not only cruel and selfish, but she was also a powerful sorceress with friends among the wicked spirits of the forest. She treated Thmpelana terribly, making her do all the chores and never letting her rest. Despite the harsh treatment, Thmpelana remained kind and hopeful. She found solace in the animals of the forest and the gentle whisper of the trees. One evening, as she was gathering firewood, she stumbled upon a tiny, injured fairy. Thmpelana took the fairy home and cared for her, unaware that this act of kindness would change her life forever. The fairy, named Lumina, was grateful for Thmpelana's help and decided to grant her a wish. "You have a pure heart, Thmpelana," Lumina said. "I can grant you one wish. What do you desire most?" Thmpelana thought for a moment and replied, "I wish for a better life, free from my stepmother's cruelty." Lumina nodded and sprinkled some fairy dust over Thmpelana. "You have my blessing," she said. "Remember, kindness will always be rewarded." That night, as Thmpelana slept, Lumina's magic began to work. In the morning, Thmpelana awoke to find herself in a beautiful dress, and the tiny cottage she lived in was now a charming, cozy home. Morgana and her daughters were furious, but there was nothing they could do to reverse the fairy's magic. Enraged by her failure, Morgana decided to call upon her friends, the wicked spirits of the forest. These spirits were mischievous and powerful, and they agreed to help Morgana in exchange for a favor. Morgana promised them anything they wanted if they could rid her of Thmpelana. The spirits set a trap for Thmpelana, luring her deep into the forest with the promise of finding her long-lost mother. Trusting and hopeful, Thmpelana followed their whispers, only to find herself lost and alone in the darkest part of the forest. Just when it seemed all hope was lost, Lumina appeared again. "Do not fear, Thmpelana," she said. "Your kindness has earned you many friends." With a wave of her hand, Lumina called forth the animals of the forest. They guided Thmpelana safely back to her home. When she arrived, she found that Morgana and her daughters had been banished by the spirits, who were angry at being deceived by the wicked sorceress. With Morgana gone, Thmpelana's father returned to find his home filled with warmth and love. Thmpelana's life changed for the better, and she never forgot the lesson that Lumina had taught her. That kindness, even in the face of cruelty, can bring about the most magical of changes. And so Thmpelana lived happily ever after, her heart as bright as ever, surrounded by the friends she had made through her unwavering kindness. The end.